Imagine waking up one morning, stepping out of bed, and realizing your legs feel heavier than yesterday, your back slightly stiffer, and your balance not as steady as it used to be.
It's a small change, but deep inside, you sense it's a warning. After 60, every single day becomes a choice. Either let time slowly take away your strength or fight back with simple, powerful moves that keep you walking tall, feeling confident, and living life on your own terms. These are not complicated gym routines or exhausting workouts. They are gentle, science-backed exercises you can do right at home. And here's the truth. Just 5 minutes a day can mean the difference between struggling to climb stairs and dancing with your grandchildren without fear. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover 5 essential exercises that can truly change your future. After turning 60, Maria noticed how quickly small tasks began to feel heavier. Carrying grocery bags made her arms ache, bending to pick up something left her breathless, and climbing stairs felt like a mountain. She loved playing with her grandkids, gardening in the backyard, and taking evening walks with friends, but lately, even these joys seemed harder. She feared losing her independence, yet she refused to surrender to age. That's when she learned a powerful truth. Movement is medicine, and the right exercises can give back the strength, energy, and confidence time tries to take away. These are not exhausting routines. They are gentle, targeted moves designed to protect her joints, improve balance, and make everyday life easier. Now, Maria wants to share these 5 essential exercises with you, so you can stay active, mobile, and strong for the years ahead without fear holding you back. Maria's journey to regain her strength started with something so simple, she almost didn't believe it could work: the chair squat. At first, it felt too basic, but when she learned it was one of the most effective exercises for seniors, she decided to give it a try. She placed a sturdy chair behind her, feet shoulder-width apart, and lowered herself slowly until she just touched the seat, then pushed back up with controlled strength. The first few days, her thighs burned and her knees wobbled, but within a week, she could already feel her legs becoming stronger. Chair squats target the muscles that help you stand, walk, and climb stairs with ease: your quads, hamstrings, and glutes, while also engaging your core for better balance. They mimic a movement we do every day, getting in and out of a chair, so improving it directly impacts daily life. For Maria, this meant she could bend to lift a laundry basket without strain and rise from the couch without gripping the armrest. She started with just 5 repetitions, resting between each set, then gradually increased to 10 as her strength improved. The key, she learned, was to move slowly, keep her back straight, and focus on breathing: inhale while lowering, exhale while standing. To make it safer, she placed the chair against a wall so it wouldn't slide and wore comfortable shoes for stability. This simple routine, just a few minutes each day, was giving her back the independence she feared losing. She began noticing small victories: walking up her porch steps without stopping, standing in the kitchen cooking for longer without fatigue, and even enjoying her morning walks more. Maria realized that chair squats were more than just an exercise. They were a foundation for freedom, allowing her to move confidently without the constant fear of falling or losing her balance. As Maria's legs grew stronger from her daily chair squats, she realized strength alone wasn't enough. She needed balance, the kind that could prevent a single misstep from turning into a dangerous fall. That's when she discovered the heel-to-toe walk, a simple yet powerful exercise that trained her body to stay steady even on uneven ground. She began by standing tall, placing her right foot directly in front of her left so the heel touched the toes, then slowly stepping forward, each foot landing in a perfect line. At first, she used the hallway wall for light support, feeling her ankles and calves working with every step. The movement was deliberate, her focus sharp, as if she were walking along a narrow bridge high above the ground. This exercise, she learned, strengthened the small stabilizing muscles in her feet and ankles while sharpening coordination and posture. Maria practiced for just 5 minutes each morning, moving forward 10 steps, then turning and coming back the same way. Soon, she noticed the difference. She could reach for a book on a high shelf without swaying, carry a tray of tea without spilling, and even walk across the lawn without fearing a hidden dip in the grass. The heel-to-toe walk also boosted her confidence in public spaces. She no longer avoided busy sidewalks or crowded shops. The controlled pace of the exercise made it safe for her joints, and focusing on each step kept her mind engaged, almost like meditation in motion. To challenge herself further, she tried closing her eyes for a few seconds while holding onto a sturdy surface, training her body to rely on muscle memory instead of sight. For Maria, this wasn't just about exercise. It was about reclaiming the freedom to move anywhere without hesitation, knowing her body could handle unexpected shifts in terrain. With her legs steady and her balance sharper than it had been in years, Maria turned her attention to something she hadn't thought much about before: her upper body strength. She realized that without strong arms, shoulders, and chest, even simple tasks like opening a heavy door, lifting groceries, or hugging her grandchildren tightly could become difficult. That's when she learned about wall push-ups, a safe and joint-friendly alternative to floor push-ups. She stood facing a wall, feet about 2 feet away, and placed her palms flat at shoulder height. Slowly, she bent her elbows, bringing her face closer to the wall, then pushed back to her starting position. At first, the movement seemed easy, but after 10 repetitions, she felt her arms and chest working in ways they hadn't in years. Wall push-ups were building the muscles that supported her posture and made her daily activities effortless. She practiced 3 sets of 10 every other day, making sure her body stayed in a straight line and her core remained engaged. Within weeks, she noticed changes. Carrying laundry upstairs no longer left her breathless, she could push open a stubborn gate with ease, and even her back felt less tense. The exercise was gentle enough not to strain her joints, yet effective enough to strengthen her entire upper body. Sometimes she added a slight incline by stepping further from the wall, increasing the challenge as her strength improved. For Maria, these wall push-ups weren't about building big muscles, they were about building the power to live without depending on others. Each time she finished a session, she felt a quiet pride, knowing she was not only keeping her body strong but also preserving the independence that mattered most to her. After strengthening her arms and chest with wall push-ups, Maria knew it was time to focus on something even more crucial: protecting her knees and keeping her joints healthy. She had seen friends her age struggle with stiffness, swelling, and the fear of sudden pain while walking, and she didn't want to face that. That's when she discovered seated leg raises, a gentle but powerful exercise that could be done anywhere, even while watching TV or reading. She sat tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, and slowly lifted her right leg until it was straight, holding it for a few seconds before lowering it back down with control. Then she switched to the left leg, keeping her movements slow and steady. At first, she felt a slight burn in her thighs, but soon she realized that this simple motion was strengthening her quadriceps, the very muscles that protect and support the knee joint. She began adding small ankle circles at the top of each lift to improve flexibility and blood flow. Practicing 2 sets of 10 on each leg, she noticed daily improvements. Climbing stairs felt smoother, getting up from the couch became effortless, and even standing for long periods while cooking no longer made her knees ache. The best part was how safe it felt. There was no pressure on her joints, no risk of losing balance, and she could easily adjust the intensity by adding light ankle weights as her strength grew. For Maria, seated leg raises became a secret weapon against the slow creep of mobility loss. Each repetition felt like an investment in her future, a future where she could walk through the park, travel, and enjoy her life without being slowed down by painful or unstable knees. With her legs strong, balance steady, arms powerful, and knees protected, Maria realized there was still one area she couldn't ignore: her neck and shoulders. Years of bending forward while reading, gardening, or using her phone had left her with stiffness that sometimes turned into headaches. She knew ignoring it could lead to posture problems and even limit her ability to turn her head while driving. That's when she started gentle neck and shoulder stretches, a calming yet essential routine. Sitting tall in her chair, she slowly tilted her head to the right, feeling a gentle pull along the left side of her neck, held it for 10 seconds, then switched sides. Next, she rolled her shoulders backward in slow, smooth circles, loosening the tightness she hadn't even realized she was carrying. The movements were soft, almost like a quiet reset for her body, but the effect was powerful. Within days, she could look over her shoulder with ease, lift her arms higher while hanging clothes, and even sleep more comfortably without waking up with a sore neck. The stretches also brought her an unexpected peace. Each slow movement felt like a reminder to breathe, relax, and release the tension of the day. She began adding them to her morning routine, just a few minutes before breakfast, and noticed how they set a positive tone for everything that followed. On days when she felt stressed, she would pause, close her eyes, and repeat the stretches, almost like hitting a refresh button for both her body and mind. For Maria, these gentle exercises weren't just about flexibility, they were about reclaiming comfort in the smallest moments, moving through life without feeling trapped by stiffness or pain, and knowing that every part of her body, from head to toe, was ready to support her active, independent life. Maria's journey proved that age is not the end of strength but the beginning of a wiser, more intentional way of living. With just a few minutes each day, she rebuilt her body, restored her balance, and reclaimed her confidence. These simple exercises didn't just improve her mobility, They gave her the freedom to keep doing what she loved without fear or hesitation. Every stretch, every step, every lift was a choice to keep moving forward. And now, she knows the truth. You are never too old to start, but you can be too late if you wait. Start today.